Good morning! Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is pre-order day. We've got 30 minutes until the Apple Store app comes back online. Apple says they can't wait. Well, we have to wait, Apple, so why are you asking us to wait? But yeah, we've got 30 minutes till the official countdown. I hope you guys reserved or at least pre-configured, because it at least seems like with the 14 Plus, they don't have a lot in stock because they don't want to start shipping them until next month. But good morning, everybody. Good to see you all this morning. I've already ordered the Watch Ultra and ordering 14 Pro today to replace my 12 Pro, which is going to my dad. Oh, cool. Congratulations, Simon. I hope he likes it. So yeah, AirPods Pro 2 will be available to order in 30 minutes. I think all the iPhone 14s will, even though like you could be the first person in line for the 14 Plus and you still won't get it till the 7th. You still think the eye hole is a side grade, Drew? No, not anymore, because it's not an eye hole, really. I love the dynamic island, personally. I'm a big fan. Basically, it blew my expectations out of the water in regards to how Apple can adopt software and hardware to work together. It was just not what I was anticipating at all. I just thought, similar to the Notch, they would just kind of have it up there and forget it's there, and it would just look a little bit different. But now that they've kind of turned the pill into a feature, I'm very excited to try it out. TFR60 says you're making it easier to pre-order. Well, I hope that's the goal, like going live 30 minutes before, letting people know, hey, this is the time, might be a wake-up call to some people, like, oh, really? This is it? Because, I don't know, I've always found it pretty simple. You just go on the website and it says exactly when the time is. But every year, despite Apple always launching the pre-orders at the exact same time, there's still a bunch of people that forget or don't realize when, or they have to ask me when. No, Dynamic Island was not leaked. There was a little bit of talk that they would blacken out the space between the two camera cutouts, which it is still technically an eye. There is pixels in between true depth camera system and the front facing camera and everything, and they do have an indicator light there, so when you're using the camera there's a little green dot in between the two sensors. 128 gig or 256 gig. In the rare case you do keep the phone, I'll keep it on 128 because I got 256 last year, and the only reason I got 256 was because I wanted to try out 4K ProRes. And then once I got 4K ProRes, I was like, yeah, this is not that different. I did not find it noticeably better. There's some slight tweaks to the bit rate that you might notice if you zoom in a lot or you do more color correcting, but all of that depth data gets eat into whenever you upload to YouTube anyway. So I was unimpressed with the 4K ProRes feature. If I would have known that's how it would have looked, I would have just opted for the 128 and saved myself $100. So that reminds me, since we've got time before the website updates, I should disclose I'll be reserving the Silver 14 Pro Max for review purposes. Okay, I am not planning on upgrading still to this day. That is not my intention. And I also am planning on reviewing AirPods Pro 2. I'm not entirely sure if I want to upgrade to them. Do you think ProRes will be better with the 48 megapixel sensor, although YouTube compression is bad? Well, I don't think it should be any worse. Yeah, I'd be surprised if the 48 megapixel made it look bad. But the way I understood it is that even if it's a 48 megapixel sensor, the only way you're actually taking a 48 megapixel image is if you shoot in ProRAW. If you're not shooting in ProRAW, it's still condensed down to 12 megapixel. You're just hopefully taking advantage of that larger sensor, which means getting a little bit more detail, but ultimately it's still a 12 megapixel image. Stetson Doggett says ProRes didn't seem noticeably different to me. I think the HEVC codec Apple uses is already great. Yeah, thank you, Stetson. That's exactly how I feel about it too. Dylan says he has 128 gig, and I personally wish I had 256 as I store about 30 gigs of music. Well, 30 gigs of music, 128 gigs of storage. You should be good. I just feel like if you use 256 or 512, eventually you're going to fill it up, and then you're going to have to manage that data. So I just, back it up or, put it somewhere else, save yourself some money. Of course, he gets another neutral color. Yeah, I like that the new silver this year is not as yellowed as last year's silver. I finally, like, when I went to an Apple store, I got to check out the silver 13 Pro, and I didn't like how faded the white was. But on the website, at least this year, it shows that the 14 silver is a lot more white. Just it's and I kind of have a white accent thing going on. Cole Crawford, thank you for the super chat. Waiting for a flight and didn't think the iPhone orders were now. I thought they were next week. No. See, this is what I mean. It's always the same time. It's always the Friday, 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Eastern, following the Apple event. And then deliveries start a week after that. It's always the same time every year, but I guess everyone still forgets. Ben says he has over 80 gigabytes of just music. Man, I just have not been in situations where I needed to have all of that accessible. Yes, Robert, it's only for review purposes. I'm not actually upgrading. Katrina Price says you got better low light performance and that will show up in YouTube. That's true. I expect the camera to be better. I'm excited to try it, but the low light I think would be more noticeable necessarily than the 48 megapixels. I just wanted to buy a MacBook Air and the Mac page has the pre-order waiting as well. Do I have to wait until the iPhone pre-orders are over? No. You got to wait 24 minutes, and then the whole Apple store comes back. Lossless audio takes up way more space. Yeah, I just don't listen to lossless because I use AirPods. What time is it where you live in Bulgaria? It's 3 p.m. Oh, for Bulgaria, it's a normal time of day. It's 4:36 for me. I just started testing out the Nike watch face because now everybody gets the Nike faces, which is kind of cool. Do you like the new black color? Well, I haven't seen it in person, and I always find that iPhone colors look different in person than they do on the website. But from what I've seen, it's better than graphite. It's not quite as black as I want it to be. I'm still in favor of there being like a hard, deep matte black, but in the comparisons I've seen of the Graphite 13 compared to Space Black 14, at least the steel, maybe not so much on the back glass, but the steel part of the phone looks like jet black. It looks very, very dark, which I appreciate. Vanilla God, thank you for the super chat. We all know you're going to keep it. Don't blame you. That is not the plan, but thank you for the super chat. No, it's not that I think the 14 is bad, and I'm very excited to try it. It's just that I don't think there's anything wrong with my 13. You're getting the Pro Max. I want to, but I'm not sure if it will be too big for pockets. Well, I've had the 13 Pro Max for a year, and it's been fine. Golden, thank you for the super chat. Don't you want to live on that dynamic island? I do. I don't know if I feel like paying that much for dynamic island. I need to try it out, of course. But I think you could end up getting used to it very quickly and then not worry, and then you wouldn't even notice it. 14-inch MacBook Pros are on sale at Best Buy for $15.99. That's a great deal. Oh my God, much better deal. Trash Teen says it's impressive that you were up this early. I know. I think what was it, last year or something? I overslept. Or no, it wasn't last year. What did we pre-order? There was something earlier this year that there was an early stream for the pre-orders, and I overslept and I didn't go live until like 10 minutes before, which was quite annoying. Beauty says, can I please buy one from you? That will save me the ridiculous extra amount they charge me over here in Europe. Well, the amount it's going to cost me to ship it to you, and then it's going to be eSIM only, is probably not ideal. Drew, why don't you just trade in? The trade-in doesn't cover the price. You usually get ripped off when you trade in your phone. You're much better off selling it. Stetson Doggett, thank you for the super chat. He says, how often do you typically upgrade your personal iPhone? Usually every year. Usually, ever since the iPhone 7 came out, I've upgraded every year. Is that what it was? It was the MacBook Air. Okay, you guys remember. Thank you, Edgar. Thankfully, the alarm on my Apple Watch actually worked. So every year I've upgraded until this one, just because I wanted to send a message about, how you don't need to have the latest and greatest tech, and it's okay to use older tech, and I kind of just want to see how the 13 Pro Max ages. For the foreseeable past few years, I have not used an iPhone for longer than a year. I usually get rid of it in a year or less once the new ones come out. And with the 14 Pro Max not having a SIM card tray, I don't even know if I'm going to put my SIM in it, because I'm confused how complicated it's going to be to, I know Mint Mobile supports eSIM, but I'd have to convert my phone number to what to an eSIM, which I currently don't use eSIM. I just have a physical SIM, and then when I'm done reviewing it, I would want to switch my number back to a physical SIM in my 13 Pro. So I don't know. It just seems like a lot of work for something that's probably not worth it. Bob O'Mara, thank you for the super chat. I'll send you a postcard from Dynamic Island. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. Iron Panther says Ultra should have been called Pro or Elite. I'm sorry. I'm not budging on that one. I'm very happy with the name. We don't need another suffix. We've already used Elite. Pro is kind of consistent with other naming schemes, but I think Ultra aligns better with the active lifestyle that Apple is pushing. JV Tech Review super chatted. He says, I have 128 gigs now and using 42. Should I get 256? I don't think so. If you're using 42 now, that means you've got plenty left. Why would you want more than that? Didn't Randy say you would want to upgrade but wouldn't out of principle and stubbornness on the podcast once? I don't know if he said out of stubbornness, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't saying I wouldn't want the iPhone 14. It's just I didn't doubt that the iPhone 14 would have advantages. It's just that I wanted to try to last a bit longer with my 13. Dylan says you might as well just use the eSIM in your 13 Pro Max before when you switch back. I could, but I haven't really switched to eSIM before. I'm not exactly sure how easy it is or how complicated it is. So I'm tempted to just not put any SIM in the 14, just so I can test it. Just keep the eSIM. It's not stubbornness, it's a rational decision. Yeah, I'm trying to say it's a more responsible decision, because as much as I may like parts of the iPhone 14, do I need Dynamic Island? Do I need a better camera? The 13 Pro Max still has a very, very good camera, great battery life. Surgeonator says, don't buy into the 14 Pro to keep it over the 13 Pro. Will be hardly no difference on battery, cellular, GPU performance, and remember next year will be better. Yeah, I know. I mean, you can always say next year will be better, but no, that's not the plan. Zach Jewett says, Mint makes switching from eSIM to physical SIM easy. For eSIM, you just activate it through their app. If you switch back to a physical SIM, you just type the SIM number back in. Hopefully that helps. Thank you, Zach. It's nice knowing it's not that difficult. Which model will sell out first, in your opinion? It seems like 14 Plus is in short supply. So if a lot of people end up ordering the 14 Plus, I could see that getting delayed even further. Am I keeping the Apple Watch Ultra? Also, no. I love it. I love the design, and I think it's such a great addition to my collection. It's such a great watch for the lineup, but I don't have a need for it. Like, I don't have a super active lifestyle. The battery life on my Series 7 is still good, and I think the Apple Watch Ultra is ugly in a good way. Like, it feels intentionally kind of bulky and sharp just for the sake of being extra durable, but I don't have a desire or need for it personally. Kevin says the Apple Store app is the fastest. Yes, so the store is not up yet. We still have 17 minutes to go. But once it goes up, and keep in mind, it's usually not at the exact same time for everybody. Sometimes it goes live right at 5 a.m. Sometimes it goes live at 5:04. Sometimes it goes live at 5:05. So don't freak out if you can't order it immediately. That's normal. Did you mourn the loss of the Series 3? No, I wanted the Series 3 to die years ago, and they were selling it way longer than they should have. I was so happy. Christopher says, you were so right about the eSIM thing. That's what I did. I had Simple Mobile, which does not have eSIM, so I decided to port my number over to Verizon, and it ported over as an eSIM. Okay. Got my condolences here with Verizon, though. Dusty says, I'll be buying the 14 Pro Max with 512 gig Space Black and AirPods Pro. I'll also be upgrading from my 12 Pro Max and first gen AirPods Pro. So that's a good idea. Let's vote in the poll, because I imagine most of you are probably getting a Pro. I can't have too many options in the poll, but I want to figure out what most people are ordering. So I'm gonna put down, hey, Apple World's been a member for 13 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay, give me a sec here. which color are you getting? Sorry if you're not getting a 14 Pro. At least vote on like what color you would get if you were getting a 14 Pro. Let's see. Why did they remove the green 14 Pro Max? There was never a green 14 Pro Max, so they didn't remove it. There was a green 13 Pro Max that's no longer there. But they usually like having mid-cycle color drops, so I wouldn't be shocked if they brought an Alpine green back in the spring. That's what the 13 Pro Max did not launch with the Alpine green. I wish we had a light purple. Well, this is very faded purple, that's for sure. You think Verizon is bad? Try Xfinity Mobile. No, I know it's bad. My sister's on Xfinity Mobile. I've tried to convince her elsewise. Drew, just get gold color. It's better than silver. I've never liked the gold colors over the years. There's not a single gold iPhone that I like the look of. It just makes me feel like jewelry. 640 didn't listen very well. He says, didn't he say he was going to upgrade to the 14 Pro? He wasn't going to upgrade? That's correct. I'm reviewing the 14 Pro. I'm not upgrading to it. Which, even if you're reviewing the iPhone, you still have to order it. What's a color for Pro iPhones you'd like to see? I still want jet black or piano black, like a solid black, not like a grayish, space black or a space gray or whatever. I just want a solid black, or a product red would be great. I'd love to see a product red on the Pro. Don't forget the AirPods Pro. If you're hoping to get those on launch day, that's going to be available to order right as the store goes up. So I got 2 things to order. I already ordered the Apple Watch Ultra, which again I'm not planning on keeping. I like you, but sometimes, like after the event, you become stressed. I'm not stressed, I promise. And get annoyed with the questions, so sometimes seems rude, but okay. I get annoyed with questions that have already been answered and are very clear to answer. Like, what annoys me is when people are asking, like, when do I pre-order and when do the pre-orders go live? It's like the first thing you see on the website. Apple said it during the event. I don't know how you miss it, and it's been at the same time for the past 3 years. Like, I told you when the pre-orders would be, even before the event was announced. I told you it would be today at 5 a.m., and there's still people that are like, wait, when? And I'm like, bruh. It's like, you're taking up space in the chat with something that you could have easily seen. And now I feel like I have to answer, but you shouldn't have to. Dylan White says, we're stuck with Xfinity Home Internet anyway, so it's not really bad on price, but it took them 3 months to fix my voicemail because, they programmed it for Android. Yeah, Xfinity in general, I don't care if it's cell phone service or home internet, is just the worst. But Drew, when iPhone. Favorite ever color is Sierra Blue. Why did they remove it? Well, it's almost like they never keep colors identical year over year. They have to always change them. Your thoughts on the death of the Mini? It's sad, but it's not really gone. It's now cheaper. You can get a 13 Mini for $599, which is a good deal. And briefly, before it sold out, you could get an iPhone 12 Mini after the event for $439. $439 for the 12 Mini certified refurbished, which was an insanely good deal. You think they'll surprise us with battery life this year? I wonder how much battery always on display uses. No, I mean, on the website, they said... Well, during the event, they said that the Pro iPhones have about the same battery life as before. On the website, they showed that the 14 Pro and Pro Max have a little bit longer in video playback, but video playback is typically not accurate to how battery life actually is. So, I don't think it will be noticeably better. In fact, if anything, you'll probably get better battery life if you turn off the always-on display, which I'm in favor of because I don't like always-on displays. Ryan West says, I'm getting the silver because it's actually wide, going from a Max to just a Pro. Okay. Well, enjoy your massive camera bump. I think it's going to be gargantuan on there. Let's see. I'm honestly going to turn off the always-on display. Have an always-off display. Divot says, jet black, Alpine green, and Pacific blue are the best iPhone colors ever, period. Well, there you go. I can imagine the dimmed AOD to have good battery life. I'm sure it's fine, because that's why Apple wanted to wait until they could get the display down to 1 hertz. It's just that if it was off, it would still be better. What's your favorite iPhone Pro color? I mean, I haven't seen them all in person. I'm not really a huge fan of the purple, but I from what I can tell on the website, I like the look of the silver and I like the look of the space black. I like kind of neutral colors like that. I feel like they just age better. Jet black was fun, other than all the micro scratches. Can we quickly change the gigabytes before buying it? I think I might want the 512, not the 256. Yeah, it should be pretty simple. Usually these things do not sell out within seconds, which is the good news. If you're watching this right now, you all have a pretty good chance of getting it on launch day. In my experience, having pre-ordered iPhones at launch for years, typically everybody who pre-orders within the first 20 minutes at least, sometimes longer, is able to get their iPhone right away. If it's a popular color, those tend to get delayed faster because everyone's ordering them. So deep purple is kind of the new color. If you're trying to get the purple one, it might get delayed a little bit faster. But based on the poll, we have almost 1,000 votes, and space black is actually in the lead, which surprises me. Usually every year it's the new color that's the most popular. But no, 44% voted and said space black, which is pretty sweet. So I guess a lot of people want that one. But if it's a very popular color you're ordering, then it's more likely that it'll get delayed, but usually not within the first couple minutes. It typically takes it, 20 minutes before you start seeing delays, and usually you'll see delays with certain storage configurations first. Wait on the Apple Watch Ultra so you can change the watch faces, or do you think there's only a few? I don't think I need to wait on them. I mean, it's cool that there's some new watch faces, but I'm probably not going to be hiking or doing anything crazy to take advantage of the new redesigned compass and stuff. I do have a dark audience, that's right. Pro Max is too heavy. I was actually surprised the 14 Pro Max is almost the exact same weight as the 13 Pro Max. I thought it was going to be worse than that. They think it's going to be black. I think it is blacker. It's darker than graphite, but it's not quite solid black. Technically, space black is also a new color on a technicality. Yeah, it's a new shade, but yeah, I guess it's a new name. Kayvon Javid, thank you for the super chat. Getting the 14 Pro Max with iPhone upgrade program. All right, congrats. I hope you like it. Can we run a poll for storage size? I guess we could. We've had like 1,200 votes, and I think I'm getting the silver. Just because it actually looks white this year. Did they say these phones ship with iOS 16, or when does that come out? So iOS 16 should come out this Monday, so I assume all the iPhones are going to arrive with iOS 16 as well. How are all the leakers so wrong that the 14 will have 8K video recording? They just made incorrect assumptions. They assumed that because it had a 48 megapixel sensor, and that part of the leak was correct, that Apple would put 8K, but they didn't. And I'm actually grateful for that. I think 8K is a waste of time, and very few people can actually see or utilize 8K. So my thought process, and we talked about this on the podcast, I was like, if they do 8K, it's because they've ran out of things to get people excited for, or they've run out of camera features that are noticeable. And the fact that they didn't launch 8K actually proves to me that they're comfortable just making the camera better without having to use stupid metrics or stupid resolutions and stuff. Yeah, cinematic mode at 4K is far more interesting. Scott, Mr. Resser, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Appreciate it. Check you out during the members-only streams. And Nathan Gibson, oh my God, $20. Thank you for the super chat. That was very kind of you. He said, you're my favorite personality on YouTube. I currently have a Galaxy S22 Ultra, but I'm tempted to switch only because of that sweet Ultra watch. Give me your best sales pitch to switch from Android to the new iPhone. Oh my God, I have to give you a sales pitch. The iPhone will likely hold its resale value much better than your S22. I bet AirDrop. Well, you probably don't have a Mac. I think the camera's going to be much better, and Dynamic Island is far more creative and far more useful. Just the software fluidity, just the responsiveness of the display, the motion on iOS is so much better than Android. The iOS App Store apps are far more optimized. The A16 chip is much faster. That Ultra watch is going to have a great battery life. I love how Nathan is just like, I bought the Galaxy Ultra, now I need the Watch Ultra. That makes sense. So the resale value is great. The battery life is probably going to be better on your iPhone. The Apple Watch Ultra is going to have a great battery life as well. And it will last you a long time. It will get many software updates for years to come, opposed to the S22, which probably will stop getting software updates after 3 years. Kayvon, thank you for the super chat. Space Black was on the stainless steel Apple Watch. That's true. So it's new to the iPhone, not new entirely. But thank you so much for the donation, Nathan. I hope that convinced you. But ultimately, I hope you guys know, like, my end goal is not for everybody in the chat to switch to an iPhone. Like, it's not my goal to convert people. My goal is for you to buy what works best for you. So while Nathan asked me to sell him on an iPhone, I ultimately still think Nathan should buy whatever fits his lifestyle best. And for some of you, an Android fits your lifestyle best. And for others, the iPhone fits your lifestyle best. So I'm just in favor of everybody buying what works for them. Mr. Quinto, thank you for the super chat. Rainer, that's awesome. And Nora also just became a channel member. Thank you very much. We've got a lot of new members this week. iOS not sloppy Android. Yeah, that's right. Invitation to the Apple event that the Apple was seen and then did not mean that you had a connection to the satellite or not. Wait, what? You got to read those messages before you send them, Mario. That the Apple was seen and then did not mean that you had a connection to the satellite. Yeah, I don't know. Gotta pay rest of my bill first. AT&T has been up. I guess if you're on AT&T, AT&T's website, you can pre-order now. Get ready, folks. We only got 4 minutes. Option Command Media, thank you for the super chat. Good morning. Dave says, good answer, Drew. You think that Apple will make a tier above Pro Max? Yeah, Mark Gurman said they were thinking about it. And Stetson also became a channel member. Thank you, thank you. Cool fact, the Apple Watch Ultra is the first Apple Watch with higher resolution than the original iPhone. Oh, really? That's cool. You also get the higher 2000 nit brightness. Nathan Slonaker? I don't know how to pronounce it, but thank you. Thank you for the super chat. You keep saying Nathan and it's tripping me up. Really? What's tripping you up? Just hearing your name? Franklin Schmidt, thank you for the super chat. But thank you by the way, thank you for that super chat. That was incredibly generous of you. I don't know why you did that. We got to start turning on refunds. Franklin Schmidt says, I just realized that it's pre-order and not being available to buy today because I'm waiting for that Verizon deal for me, so I'm going to go back to sleep. Oh, I'm sorry, Franklin. I'm sorry you got up so early. Rainer super chatted and says you can now pre-order on T-Mobile. I know you can. The carriers always go up earlier, but I don't want to order through these carriers because I want to buy the phone unlocked. So I'm buying it through Apple, and the Apple Store app is not up yet, at least from what I can tell. But I'll keep refreshing. Don't worry, Apple will have them in stock. They're not going to sell out through T-Mobile, and therefore you can't get it on launch day. Nathan Gibson super chatted again. Oh my gosh, sorry, my Mac went to sleep. My iMac Pro is kind of my light right now. Super generous of you. He says, crazy as it sounds, do have a MacBook Pro. I genuinely appreciate your hard work. Oh, thanks, Nathan. I don't think I work very hard, but I do appreciate you guys being so generous today. We're just pre-ordering. You don't need to super chat like this. This is too much. You're too kind. You're far too kind. Drew's using reverse psychology on us again to get more super chats. I promise I'm not like, I really would do this if there were no super chats. I would still be doing this. Triforce, thank you for becoming a channel member. Can you not buy it through a carrier and then unlock it after 60, 90 days? I don't know, maybe, but I just hate dealing with the major carriers. I've had bad experiences with AT&T, bad experiences with Verizon, and I ordered my iPhone 7 through Verizon, and they, like, scammed me. They told me to trade in my old iPhone, and they sent me the box to send back my iPhone in, but they didn't include a shipping label. So I was like, excuse me, I can't send back my old iPhone. I need to, I need a shipping label, and you said it would be provided. And they were like, oh, I'm sorry, we'll send you out a shipping label. So I had to wait a week. Then the shipping label shows up, and I send the iPhone, and they said, you waited too long, so we're not going to give you the trade-in credit. But they still took my iPhone. They didn't send my iPhone back. They still took it, but they said, we're not going to give you the trade-in credit because you took too long to send the iPhone. And I was like, I literally sent it as soon as I could. It was just that you didn't send me the shipping label. Really, really stupid. I hated that. Golden Phase also became a supporter. Thank you. AJSR says, imagine expecting 120 hertz on an Apple Watch. I did not expect it. I just thought that if there was a chance of the Apple Watch going Pro, there's a chance of it getting ProMotion. Verizon said I'm ineligible to pre-order. Well, that's rude. Why would they say that? Benji asked, hey Benji, good to hear from you. You going to keep the 14 Pro? I'm not planning to. No, I don't think so. If you want an unlocked iPhone, buying directly from Apple is best. Thank you, Stetson. I think I agree with you. Oh, and Fox Miller has been a supporter for 13 months as well. Thank you so much for over a year of support. He says, thoughts on Apple cases? I don't like them. I used to buy them. The silicone cases break and wear out like so fast. Like in 6 months, silicone cases are falling apart. And leather cases also show scratches and scuffs and signs of wear so quickly. I feel like Apple intentionally makes cases that don't last very long so that you feel like you have to buy new ones pretty frequently. I'm refreshing the app right now. It is 5 a.m. and it still says almost there. So finishing touches. As soon as it's up, I will have to ignore the chat and focus. But right now, for the moment, I'm just refreshing a bunch. Okay. iPhone 13 mini is out of stock in Amazon, Spain, and elsewhere there too. Well, they're probably not manufacturing it anymore. I don't know. Was it hard adjusting to the Pro Max after using a mini? No, I thought it was great. I love the Pro Max. Are you planning to upgrade the Apple Watch? No, I love the Ultra. I think it's fantastic, but I just don't have a need for it. I don't kill my Series 7 battery in a day, and also still refreshing. I don't think it looks pretty. Like, the Apple Watch Ultra is ugly in the best way possible, but I just don't really think I would utilize any of its Ultra features. Like, I don't really care about the extra durability. I don't go scuba diving. I don't do a ton of like rigorous mountain climbing or hiking or stuff like that. The Series 7 still works great, but I'm still excited to try it out. I want to see how it feels. I want to see how big it looks. But I prefer my Series 7 thin bezels. I prefer the look of my Series 7 aesthetically. Robert says, got in the Apple app, already ordered. Yeah, it goes live for different people at different times. This happens every year, so don't panic. It's up for Glenn in Canada. Just got my order in, says George. Lyle says, done. I'll take my time. Maybe I'll switch off of Wi-Fi, see if that makes a difference. No, I'm still refreshing. Buy it and start doing those things. Yeah, right. Gotta buy the watch and then justify it afterwards. But good morning, Ohad. Happy pre-order day. You can take pictures in Apple Pro RAW in 8,000 by 6,000 resolution, technically 8K. Well, yeah, I guess you could refer to it that way, but that's not what people were saying. People were assuming 8K video. Used to wear in Timex Iron Man, says Joshua. No day is as stressful as this one. Have you upgraded Apple Watches every year? No. I did not upgrade to the Series 5, and I really wasn't going to upgrade to the Series 6. The only reason I upgraded to the 6 was because someone offered me a really good deal on my Series 4, to the point that I was going to gain money because I was buying the aluminum Series 6. So I actually made a profit by upgrading to the Series 6. But, yeah, I'm surprised. Mine still says almost there. Apple doesn't want me to buy this phone, I guess, because it's 503 and it's still not done. A lot of people in the chat says they've already ordered. Thank you, Colin. He says, just placed my pre-order for 14 Pro Deep Purple 256 gig for September 16th. Sweet. Good job. Luckily, I'm getting a color that's not super popular. Okay, it's up for me. It's up. Here we go. Time for the pre-order. I'm going with the Pro Max. I'm going with silver. 128 gig is good. No trade-in. Buying it unlocked. No Apple Care Plus. I never get Apple Care Plus. Hey! It's available at launch. Good. Even though the app was a little late. Oh, and I can't forget AirPods. Where are they? Where are they? Can I order them the same time? Can I pick them up in the same place, is I guess what I'm trying to say. It says check availability. Oh, September 23rd, I guess. I forgot. They're not available at launch. So let me hit checkout. I'm going to do them as separate orders, actually. Congratulations, Edgar. Pick up in store. Yes, let's do that. Choose a time. That's good. Okay, pick up in store. I think I'm good. I think this all looks right. Place order. Oh, I gotta enter a code. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, come on, come on. Process, process. Loading, loading, loading. Is this gonna work? We're gonna work? Yay! We're looking forward to seeing you. We got it. We got it. It is secured. Your order number is... No, I'm not going to say it. The pickup notification will be sent to that email. Okay, now I got to get AirPods real quick. Real quick. Spencer says $1,300 down. Trade-in ready. Whew. 1,300. My God. Okay, let me order AirPods Pro 2. Check. It says check availability September 23rd. I'm not sure it'll let me pick it up in store. But I guess I don't want to go back. So we're just going to have it be delivered. Okay, there's our total. Place order. Kaboom! Joey says he still can't get in. Don't worry, Joey. Just keep refreshing. Sometimes it shows up a little bit later for everybody. I'm sorry, Jeff. Thank you. Okay, yes, we got it. We got it. We reserved AirPods Pro 2. Awesome. And we reserved the new iPhone. Yes, okay, that has me a little bit nervous. I apologize in the chat if it's not going up immediately for you. It still takes time for different regions. UK store still not live. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. I saw pickup in store completely disappear as an option for me. Looks like all the time slots filled up super quickly. I guess so. Yeah, I wanted to pick it up in person. West Coast gets orders first, I guess. Hugh Russell says, just ordered 128 gig silver 14 Pro, arriving September 16th. Hey, congrats. B-Bull, you could order the Apple Watch 2 days ago. The Apple Watch is not new. I ordered the Apple Watch Ultra before the event was over, actually. How do you refresh the app? Just close it? Yeah, I just go to multitasking, swipe up, and then go back. Tim Cook is happy probably right now, but wait till he gets the return request. Then he might not be so happy. Nathan Gibson super chatted again. Oh my God, Nathan, you gotta cool it. If I do order all three, the new Buds, watch, and phone, is there a charger you'd recommend that would charge all three on a nightstand? Also, if the watch is cellular, do I even need an iPhone to get full use? I mean, yeah, you can't even set up the watch without an iPhone, and a lot of the watch's features aren't going to work. Like, you can't tie your phone number of your Android to the watch, so that would defeat a lot of the purpose for it. However, as far as a charger that I can get, I mean, MagSafe Duo technically will charge all of those, just not all at the same time. It will charge your iPhone and one other thing simultaneously, but from what I've discovered, you rarely are charging all three of those things simultaneously. Typically, you're charging your iPhone and your watch, or you're charging your AirPods. And AirPods, typically, with a 30-hour total battery time, you don't charge those every night. Like, you charge those, I guess, after you charge your watch and your phone. And MagSafe Duo is just so small, I use it every night. But when I travel with it, it's very convenient at just how easy it is to fold up like this. It fits in your pocket, whereas other chargers are quite bulky and take up a lot of space. Although I'm not sure how well the Apple Watch Ultra actually fits MagSafe Duo. I saw that MagSafe Duo does not list the Apple Watch Ultra as compatible, which has some people concerned that the Ultra might be so big it doesn't fit. Don't you think we need updated MagSafe Duo? Yeah, I mean, I just want one with USB-C, but until then, this one is pretty good. This was so weird. It said it had the option for pickup, but it kept saying unavailable after I clicked place order. It reverted to delivery. Uh-oh. Yeah, I guess a lot of people probably want to pick it up. Passico says, I'm finally in. Good. I'm glad you got there. I don't think you need the Apple Watch cellular model. The only thing cellular lets you do... Well, yeah, but the point is, he's getting the Ultra. So the Ultra will have cellular regardless, but yes, you don't have to sign up for cellular on cellular watches. It's not required. Apple says they're processing my order. I got in my check-in time. Mine actually didn't let me choose 8 a.m. The soonest possible time was 8:15, so someone got ahead of me, I guess, in line. Is delivery safe? It just depends on your area. If you have a track record of people stealing packages in your area, probably not. Katrina Price says UK store still not up 8 minutes later. Man, the United Kingdom cannot get a break recently. They're getting the price hikes. The store's not going up. So, the Queen, oh my God. This is a hard couple of days for the United Kingdom. I got it, still pick up or shipping on the 19th. Good. Bag secured. I choose pickup in store, picked a delivery window, and it reverted my 14 Pro Max to delivery. Weird. A lot of people, I guess, they're kicking out of delivery. Looks like it's not accessible for most folks. Is it taking that long normally? Yeah, sometimes it takes a while for it to open up, but usually it's done within the first 10 minutes. Next Friday will be a good day to work from home. That's true. Apple is still selling the Series 3 uncertified refurbished. Yeah, but they're not manufacturing anymore. It doesn't count. Benji says the UK store is just loaded for him. Okay, good. It seems to have started. People saying they're pre-ordering. A16 chip is supposed to run cooler. Yeah, I hope so. The satellite connection in case of emergency is available on iPhone 13. Apple said it was a service that with iPhone 14 was free for 2 years, but can it be done on the 13? So not yet, but eventually, yes. They're waiting for Starlink V2 satellites to be sent up, and if you have T-Mobile, you will be able to use older iPhones like the iPhone 12 and whatever, maybe even earlier than that. But the iPhone 12 and 13 at least will be able to send text via satellite once those V2 Starlink satellites go up. Whereas the iPhone 14 is not using Starlink for satellite communication, it's using Globalstar, and that's going to be available this November, and then it's free for 2 years. So the iPhone 14 will get that feature earlier, but no, it doesn't mean that the iPhone 13 won't let you communicate via satellite. But again, it's not going to be for data consumption or just casual texting. It's really only going to be used if you're in an emergency. Robin Brooks, thank you for the super chat. Enjoy a very small fraction of what I just paid Apple for keeping me entertained while waiting. Thank you very much, Robin. That was kind of you. People are saying the site crashed. Mathis says, are you keeping AirPods Pro 2? I don't know. I need to try them out. I don't know if I'll appreciate the improved sound quality or anything, but I'm at least excited to hear what they sound like and the improved noise cancellation and all that. Ordered a carrier model this year with eSIM. Hopefully that makes activation easier. I usually get unlocked. Yeah, I'm like always been an unlocked guy personally. Free for 2 years and then $80 a month to not die. I know, that's ridiculous, right? Or at least some people were saying like, okay, if the service has to cost money, then they should at least bill you after the fact. Like you can use emergency SOS after the 2 years, but they'll bill you after you're saved. Don't like turn off the feature if you're trying to call someone, but they're like, oh, sorry, doesn't work. Apple World also super chatted again, didn't say anything, but very kind of you, thank you. Ordered my AirPods Pro 2nd generation. I can't wait. Good. I'm glad you got it, Jason. That's awesome. Are you going to try the shock detection? What is shock detection? I didn't catch that one. Do you mean car crash detection? The app has crashed. CJ, thank you for the super chat. Is it worth it to go from Series 6 to Series 8 Apple Watch? I'm sorry. I'm just going to blanket say it. I don't think anyone should get the Series 8. I think you can find Series 7s for cheaper, and they are so incredibly similar. The only difference between the Series 7 and the Series 8 is it's not even body temperature checking. It's like body temperature sensing, which really is only going to be useful for women tracking cycles. And I know my channel analytics. I know that most of you are not women. Some of you are, but ultimately, I don't think even that is going to be that big of an impact. It might be, but I'm not a man, so I can't exactly. I'm not. Sorry, I'm not a woman. Is what I meant to say. I'm not a woman, so I can't exactly say how useful it would be to have the watch track. Because, like, you know, my wife has an Apple Watch, but she doesn't wear it at night, which would defeat the purpose. She would have to charge it when she's not asleep. In which case, she probably just wouldn't set it up. So, you only need the Series 8 if you're trying to get pregnant, is what Ben said. I wouldn't even say need. I think it's like a slight kind of useful body temperature checking. So that's my exception. Okay. Robin says, Robin there said, where'd the message go? I missed it. I have ovaries and I'm buying one. There you go. If you're a woman, I guess it makes sense to get a Series 8. But if you're not a woman, and I don't think CJ is, then just get the Series 7. I don't think car crash detection is worth an extra $100. Juju, thank you for the super chat. When was 2-hour delivery thing, and do we need 16? Do we need 16? I don't understand what that means. Do you need 16 gigabytes? No, that's not it. 2-hour delivery, like they bring it. I mean, that's been a thing for a while. If you live close to an Apple store, they typically offer that. Alexander says he got his Deep Purple hype train time. Nice. Nathan Sloniker, thank you for the super chat. I'm so glad we stopped selling the Series 3. People always wanted to buy it because it was the cheapest, and it was frustrating trying to navigate that conversation without telling them not to buy it. I was very happy telling everyone not to buy the Series 3. Just for the chip alone, I knew it was not going to age well. You can currently find the Series 7 watch for $300 on Swappa and Apple Certified Refurbished, which is basically new. This sounds like the moral dilemma that a motorcycle airbag has. If you canceled your subscription but are wearing it still, it would just let you die. Oops, you forgot to pay for this. Temperature tracking still remains the absolute most accurate method to track ovulation. Right, which for women, yes, that's useful, but for men, which is a lot of the population as well, and I know most of my channel, I see the audience demographics. I know that over 90% of people who watch my videos and live streams are men. So I just assume when most of you guys are asking, should I get the Series 8, it's probably a man. If you're a woman, okay, and you're trying to get pregnant, then I'll say, all right, I can kind of understand why you may want that, but it's a very small use case. Not only women, but women specifically who are trying to get pregnant or wanting to monitor ovulation and that kind of thing. You know, there's a lot of women that probably watch my videos that are way past that point in life where they need to track that type of thing, in which case it's not that useful. Do you think the 14 Pro Max is a good upgrade from the 12 Pro Max? Also, should I upgrade from the Series 4 to the Series 8? Again, people always love to ask these like questions like they're objective. Like, everybody who has a 12 Pro Max should get a 14 Pro Max. Everybody who has a Series 4 should get a Series 8. It depends. It depends on your lifestyle. It depends on your financial situations. So I'm just saying, like, if you can afford it and you think you'll appreciate the new features, then yes, it's worth it. But if your old phone is fine or your old watch is fine and it gets you through the day, then there's a lot of advantages to saving your money. And I think especially during the recession right now, and if I could tell my younger self any sort of advice, knowing what I know now, I would tell more people they should invest. Start putting money aside, put money in retirement accounts, put money in the stock market. You have a lot of time when you're younger for that money to accumulate value. And you might be better off, you know, I'm not a financial advisor, you got to do your own research, but a lot of people are like, you know, I kind of wanted to try Dynamic Island, and I'm sure Dynamic Island's going to be kind of fun, but when you're older, you'll thank yourself a lot more that you invested or put money away in a retirement account, more so than how you'll feel if you bought the latest iPhone every single year. But God of Conquest, unless you're a woman, no, I don't think you should get the Series 8. If you're a man, Series 7 will be plenty fine. There's very few times I think you'd actually use the car crash detection feature. Possibly, quite possibly never. Golden Face, super chatted. Shipping dates already slipping. Okay, we're going to have to check on those and see how they're doing. Nathan Sloniker says Apple employees can't tell people no. See, that's why I wouldn't want to work for Apple personally, because I would keep telling people that they're not supposed to. Mike Dieter also did not listen to me very closely because I said I will review the iPhone 14, which requires me to pre-order it, but I am not upgrading to it. So that's why I'm pre-ordering. But I'll either sell it to someone or I'll return it. Bill Castle, super chat. What is your opinion of eSIM and no SIM tray on these devices? I'm a little bit annoyed by it. I think it's a little bit premature, and I'm a bit bummed that it doesn't seem to carry any, like, noticeable design advantages. Like, when the iPhone 7 got rid of the headphone jack, they improved the water resistance and they improved the battery life. In the US, they're removing the SIM card tray, but it has the exact same specs and performance as the SIM tray iPhone 14s overseas. We're not like gaining anything by them removing it. And while I know that Apple wants to kind of accelerate eSIM adoption and all that, like they're trying to get more carriers on board, it's one of those things that I could see Apple being like, well, we're trying to accelerate eSIM adoption, but a lot of carriers are just not going to support it very well. And that's going to result in very frustrating experiences, especially for people who travel. Because if you buy your phone in the US and it's eSIM only, and then you go to Europe and a lot of carriers in Europe don't support eSIM, or at least don't support it very well, then that's going to result in very major annoyances across the world, especially for people traveling and who are used to having physical SIM. So it is a very Apple-esque move. If there was someone to remove it, it makes sense that it would be Apple. But I haven't tried eSIM yet with Mint Mobile. A lot of people keep telling me, like Zach Jewett kept saying it was pretty easy, so I need to try that out. But still, the few times I've experienced eSIM, I always felt a lot more clunkier than just using a physical SIM. RT Ricky super chatted, says, one of the few women here, been watching since 2017 in the attic. Keep up the great work. Also keeping my Series 7. Thank you, Ricky, for the donation. And also, there you go. I tell people, like, no one should get the Series 8 unless you're a woman. And now there's a woman in the chat that's like, yeah, I'm not getting it. So there you go. Jonathan Perez just got his order for the 16th. Awesome. Gold and silver delivery dates slipping to September 26th. Ooh, that was fast. Let me start checking. Page cannot be found. This is a joke. I know. I do not recommend you ordering through the website. The website is always way more buggy every year. Make sure I'm caught up here. Oh my god, you guys are too generous. Nicholas Wool says, just got my Z Fold 4 and have an iPhone 13 Pro, so won't be upgrading this year. Keep up the great content. Thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate that. Hope you like your Z Fold. I think I got it. My first iPhone reorder. Oh. Reorder, huh? I just ordered the AirPods Pro twice because the app wasn't working. Oof. And thank you again for the super chat, Apple World. Okay, I'm going to plug in my exact spec again to see the availability. Yeah, it is. Oh, wow. The exact same iPhone. Only 20 minutes in. That's pretty quick. The exact same iPhone that I ordered now says September 27th for fast shipping. September 28th for free shipping. 14 Pro Max Space Black still September 16th. Okay, let me try that one. 14 Pro Max Space Black. No, it's still pushed back to the 28th. How about Deep Purple? Oh, the only one for me that's still available for the Pro Max, the only one that's still available at launch is the gold one. You can still get that one on launch day, but all the other colors are... Whoa, Space Black is pushed back to October 3rd. Wow, that was quick. What if I switch to 256 gig? Yeah, still October. 512, still October. 1 terabyte. All the Space Blacks are pushed back till October for me. Wow, that was quick. Jeff says, secured iPhone 14 Pro, 256 gigs in silver. Nice! Congratulations, Jeff. Good choice. Ohad Lulai says, what you speculate is about to come next. What do I speculate? What do you mean? For the iPhone line? That's a very generic question. For the iPhone line, I'm thinking USB-C, and they're going to put the dynamic island on the cheaper iPhones, I believe. Do you think the new blue variant will arrive for iPhone 14 Pro next month? No, they typically don't launch colors a month after launch. I'm so glad I got my Space Black in time. Yeah, I'm glad you did too. Space Black seems to be very popular. How about Deep Purple? Deep Purple also pushed back to October for every storage configuration, although it's still available for pickup for 1 terabyte Deep Purple is still available at launch. Okay, that's cool. It's different for people in different regions, by the way. Falcon Power, thank you for the super chat. Was easier for me to get the phone than the silicone case. Really? That's funny. Mike says, in-store pickup at 8 a.m. is no longer available in my area. Yeah, exactly 8 a.m. was not available for me, and I opened the app like right away, like instantly. But it did have 8:15. The check-in windows go out very, very quickly. Andrew Hedspeth says, got all the way to paying with the Apple Card, but it keeps getting an error message. Looks like I'm out of luck on launch day. Oh, no! I'm so sorry, Andrew. That's frustrating. Man, I guess this was a good day to get up early for it. Let's check the 14 Pro. So 1 terabyte 14 Pro Deep Purple is still available at launch. So is 128, actually. 256 still available at launch. 512 still available at launch. Okay. So at least in my area, the regular 14 Pro, the 6.1-inch model, is still good for all configurations. Well, I got the Deep Purple $20 later. Wow. Pick up in store at Wisconsin stores are still launch day. Okay, good. Matul says, got the Space Black 14 Pro, wondering if forest green or ink leather case looks better with it. Thoughts? I don't like Apple cases, personally. T-Mobile site and app are crashed hard. Trying here. Oh no, T-Mobile crashed. Surely it took much longer for the shipping times to shift compared to last year. I don't remember what happened last year. I feel like they didn't sell out that fast. At least the 14 Pro is still good for launch. What about Space Black? Yeah, Space Black is all available at launch for every storage option. Oh no, not 512. 512 is delayed till October. That's interesting. For the Space Black 14 Pro. But not 1 terabyte, just 512. Huh. That's it. Delivery dates aren't pushed back for me somehow. Well, that's good. Let me check on the delivery dates for the 14. I don't think that many people are ordering it today, but there are probably at least a couple people trying to get the Plus. No upcharge for unlocked iPhone. I don't know if you noticed that. Well, it's the same. The Pro iPhones never got upcharged for being unlocked. That's the same as the last couple of years. Chris Forbies, thank you for the super chat. Secured my first iPhone 14 Pro. How many 14 Pros are you going to order? Space Black 256 gig picking up September 17th since I'm on vacation till the 16th. Oh, okay. You go 1 day later. That's still pretty good. Regular iPhone 14. I don't know. Let's check product. Red. No trade-in. We can go past all this. There's still an upcharge on the regular iPhone 14. Yeah, it's still available at launch. 256 gig. Let's see. Still available at launch. 512. Still available at launch. How about blue? Is that delayed yet? Starlight's not delayed. Blue is not delayed. Seems like there's no pushbacks at all with the regular iPhone 14, which I guess I shouldn't be surprised by. People pre-ordering iPhones almost always get the Pros. iPad Apple Store app and website keep crashing during checkout. Oh no! I'm sorry, Dane Bello. Christian, thank you for the super chat. Secured the 14 Pro Max Silver, Watch Ultra, and AirPods Pro all for launch day. AT&T forced me to order Watch Ultra today because they suck. Why do they force you to? You can order it through the app. You could order the Apple Watch Ultra 2 days ago. So I ordered it then. Can we just say the $30 upcharge for the unlocked iPhone 14 is ridiculous? Yeah, it's annoying. But it's been that way for years. And it's definitely not the first time they've done that. That's what they did with the original iPhone. Did you use that sweet Apple Card for your purchase today? Yes, although I don't have the charge for it. It's not there. I don't think you usually get charged for it until it ships. Synergy Media, thank you for the super chat. My son has an iPhone 11 and needs an upgrade. Should I take advantage of an iPhone 13 deal with T-Mobile or get him an iPhone 14? He's your son, so my family never bought me iPhones. That's nice. But I would say the 13 is probably fine. Save yourself some money. If there's whatever one is cheaper. How much extra is it going to cost for you to get the 14? Is he going to appreciate autofocus? Is he going to appreciate car crash detection? Think of the differences between the 13 and 14. I think they're quite small. There's not even a newer... I mean, technically, it's a little bit better chip, but I don't think that's going to matter. I think you're probably better off just getting a 13 if that's cheaper. Jonathan says, regular 14 Plus is pushed to October 7th. No, that's launch day. See, I think people are already forgetting that. Apple said that the 14 Plus would not launch until October 7th, so that's still day one. Took me 30 minutes in Seattle to get mine going when I could select 8 a.m. It froze. Had to get on my Mac and refresh a lot on my Fold 3 to get in. He's using his foldable to pre-order the new iPhone. How cool is that? How cool is that? Looks like the new black for the 14 Pros is the most popular color. Yeah, what a surprise. I bet everyone expected it to be purple, but it wasn't. UK iPhones pushed back to mid-October. Whew! That was quick. My goodness. I'm upgrading from the black iPhone 7 small, 32 gigs to the deep purple iPhone 14 Pro Max, 256 gig. I don't think anyone else is getting an upgrade as huge as just that. I don't know. Every year, whenever we do these streams, there's always a few people that are like, hey, I'm upgrading from an iPhone 4 to the 14 Pro Max or something. You know, there's always a few people that are doing these like crazy huge upgrades. Ryan West says, you can't tell me the 13 and the 14 aren't the same phone. They're technically not, but if you ignore the differences, there's no differences. That's true. Alian Duin says, took me a few tries with Verizon checking out with Apple Pay. Got Space Black 14 Pro Max. 256 gig arriving launch day. Nice. I'm glad you got it. In my opinion, the car crash detection matters way more to parents. I guess it could, but I don't know. It seems like one of those features that they're trying to scare you into buying. Do you love your children? Then you'll buy them an iPhone 14. If you don't love your children, you won't get them an iPhone 14. Hey, Nick also ordered one. There's Nick in the chat. Silver Pro Max 256 gig will be here on launch day. Sweet. I'm glad Nick copped it. He got his order in. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. So the new iOS won't give 12s and 13s dynamic half island whole UI change just for the new models, because they don't have a dynamic island. It should be called the static peninsula, Gigardo. The non-moving peninsula, basically. T-Mobile site won't even let me trade in or add to cart. Apple won't let me either. Oh no! Just try to refresh the app as much as you can. I'm sorry. My iPhone 14 Pro 128 gig silver will be here on launch day. Awesome. I'm happy for you, Mustafa. Sir Daver, thank you for the super chat. Going from an iPhone 11 Pro 64 gigs to an iPhone 14 Pro Max 512. Super excited. I'm excited for you. I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you got it. If you love your children, buy them an Apple Watch SE 2. Did Nick see that the white sport band is back? Ooh. I don't know. Let's see. Accidentally ordered 2 AirPods Pro because the site was all whack. Uh-oh. I think I did it wrong. Have you ever noticed if shipping the phone comes sooner than the actual launch day release? For me, it never has. I have in the past, there's always certain things that you can only ship and other things you can pick up in store. So, I've done it in the past and it's never arrived early. Basically, the only people that are able to get the new iPhone and stuff early are people in Australia and New Zealand because they're a day ahead. So the launch day is the same. It's still September 16th, but they get to experience September 16th before we do. So if you really wanted to get the new iPhone before everybody else, I guess buying it in Australia and unboxing it there is probably the best way to do it. Which I have thought about doing, honestly, because I have family in Australia and we want to visit there and visit with the family. But I was like, maybe if we went there every September and then unboxed the new iPhones a day early, that would give the channel a little bit of an advantage since I'm not on Tim Cook's nice list. Samantha Hoover says, I got the 14 Pro first thing. I set my alarm to get up on time. Wonderful, coming from the base iPhone 12. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it works well. Guess I'm moving to Australia. It's time to go down under. Gonna be surrounded by spiders, but hey, you'll get the iPhone. You'll get the iPhone earlier. Ben Close says another reason for you to move to New Zealand. Was it what? What were the other reasons? Just to be close to Ben Close? Australia's internet is junk. I know. I'd have to get Starlink down there, which is still not great either. Just ordered iPhone 14 Pro Max Space Black for September 16th. Pick up an hour away, but it'll be worth it. Yeah, it's kind of a similar situation for me. But thankfully, I don't have to pay for gas this time around because because I have an electric car now, which I'm grateful for. Don't worry, Drew. Tim Cook hates me too. Good. That makes me feel better, knowing Tim Cook hates you, Alpha. Do it, Drew. Come to Australia. Are they letting people in again? They're very strict with who they let in during COVID. Which should I buy in between 14 Pro Max and Samsung S22 Ultra for gaming and for some photographic stuff? Well, it's the Apple sheep. What do you think I'm going to say? Ultimately, it comes down to you and what you prefer. This Apple Card option for monthly installments, always trying to shove this Apple Card down your throat. I just don't think there's a point, if you can't afford to buy the iPhone outright, then you probably shouldn't be buying the new iPhone. If you have to put it on a card and stretch out the payments over 24 months or whatever, then you probably should not be buying this type of thing. Oh my God! Another $20 super chat. Demetha, thank you so much, Mr. Fernando. Every year, I expect to complete the pre-order at 5:01 and go back to sleep by 5:02. Just completed the iPhone 14 Pro Max Deep Purple with AirPods Pro 2. Sup, True. Thank you so much for super chatting. That's very kind of you. I hope you enjoy it. I'm glad you grabbed some AirPods as well, which are not coming on the 16th, but I should be getting mine on launch day. Oh my God, I gotta keep up. Is it a good plan to upgrade to iPhone 14 Pro Max from iPhone 12? If you can comfortably afford it, yes. If it's a big stress on you financially, no. Don't do it if you can't afford it. GNRW Lucafire, thank you for the super chat. The app broke. Use the online store if you haven't been able to order one. I got my iPhone 14 Pro Max 256 gig in purple. That's fascinating because in other years, and also people in this chat, I've seen the website has been less reliable and more buggy than the app. But now you're saying the app is buggy and unreliable. Kaichi says, is it worth upgrading to 14 Pro from the 12 Pro? Doesn't matter how many times I say it. What do you want me to say? Yes. No, not worth it. Yes, worth it. No, not worth. It's like, it depends. How's your 12 Pro, Kaichi? Is your 12 Pro not working anymore? If it's just unusable to the point that you can't get by, then sure, it's worth upgrading. If your 12 Pro is fine and it gets the job done, then no, it's fine to keep using your 12 Pro. I'm not going to say everybody with a 12 Pro needs to get a 14 Pro. No, that's not true. Robert super chatted. He says, I just got my 14 Pro Max Silver 256 gig and is able to pick up in store on launch day. I have a first gen SE watch. Do you think I should upgrade? Again, people love to ask that question. Yes, upgrade. No, don't upgrade. Like, I don't know. How's your first gen SE? Does it get the job done? Are you happy with it? If you're asking if you should upgrade to the SE2, absolutely not. The SE2 is not that different at all. All you get over the SE1 is car crash detection. That's it. Should you spend $250 on car crash detection? I don't personally think so. Andy Blaha super chatted. Are you going to keep the iPhone 14 Pro Max? No, I don't think so. Big Soldier says the app was more buggy than the website. For me, it's been the opposite, but I'm glad to hear that at least some people are getting the... Pat's text says the app's down, website's up. Okay. Ryan West asks if I'm going to keep the new Pros. That's not the plan, no. Jeff says he prepared my pre-order beforehand. Why the heck did this turn into a half-order ordeal? I know, every year Apple tries their best to prepare for it, but it's overwhelming how many people order every time. Ricardo's asking the same question again. Is it a good plan to upgrade from... I don't know. I can't see your financials. If you're struggling to pay rent and you have credit card debt, no, it's not a good idea to buy the 14 Pro Max. If you're comfortable financially and you can easily afford it and you think you'll appreciate the 14 Pro Max's features and you'll utilize what it has to offer, then yes, it's a good plan. Please don't ask the same question that I've already answered over and over again. That gets old fast. I think people need a model for how to make better decisions about whether they should upgrade or not. Yeah, the question people keep asking, should I upgrade? I think Golden Face is I think trolling. He said, should I upgrade from the 14 Pro Max to the 15 Pro Max? You're asking a question that's not about how good the iPhone 14 is. What you should be asking is how good enough is my iPhone 13 or my iPhone 12, whatever you currently have. Is your current phone bad? Can you not get by with your old phone? If you can't get by with your old phone because it's broken or it just doesn't have the battery life you want or it doesn't have the camera you want and it's just not useful enough, then it's not worth bothering with. But if you do think you'll utilize it, then yes, and if you can afford it. Hey, Viper's in the chat. Thanks for tuning in, Vipe. Good to see you. Sorry I couldn't join your stream. I barely made it to this one. It's very early for me, and I was not feeling well last night, and I'm feeling a little bit better today, but I wanted to try to get as much sleep as I could. Let's run another poll here. Am I caught up? Dave says, I'll buy your Pro, Drew, when you're done. How much are you asking? I'll probably sell it locally, Dave, just because if I ship it online, I have to put my address on it. The real question is, does your phone have Dynamic Island? Gigardo is like, everyone needs Dynamic Island. Duval says, I'm leaving my Z Fold 3, just got the Space Black 14 Pro Max 512 and Series 7 watch. Hey, that's a good combo. I like that. You do realize not everybody's asking the same question. But they kind of are, Tay. They're not phrasing it. Like, if everyone's asking, like, I've had 5 people ask, should I buy the 14 Pro Max? I have a 12 Pro Max. And I'm like, it depends on your financial situation. There's not a yes/no answer that applies to everyone. And it depends on how well your 12 Pro Max is holding up. If your 12 Pro Max is not holding up well, then yes. If it is holding up well, then probably not. Ricard says, no problems financially. I'll be upgrading from 12 to 14 Pro Max. I'll be giving my iPhone 12 to my mom. Okay, if you can comfortably afford it, then yes. That's a good plan. There's nothing wrong with that. Nicholas, thank you for becoming a channel supporter. I appreciate that very much. And another super chat from Jacob G. Whitmer. I'm not upgrading for my 11 Pro Max. It's still perfectly fine for me. Might get the 15 Pro Max if it has Type-C because my other devices are Type-C. I know, that would be great. I'm very, very much interested in the iPhone making the switch to Type-C. I'm excited to see if those leaks end up being accurate for the next year of rumors. App was great for me this year. Got in and ordered within a minute, says Zach Hicks. That's good. That's good. I'm glad it was that quick. Are you keeping your older iPhone? Yes, that's the plan. Should I upgrade from my iPhone 13 to a Pro stand? Asks Jay Wren. Yes. Sell your iPhone 13, replace it with the Pro stand. It's such a better product, such a better experience. Should I buy the 14 Pro if I have the iPhone 14 Pro on order? Now Fizzwizzle's just joking around. Xavier Thomas super chatted. I reserved the iPhone on my existing upgrade program, but I can only choose Friday the 16th, and I'm holiday that day. Is it reserved for 7 days? I thought when you scheduled it, you can change the day. I reserved the iPhone on my existing upgrade program, but I can only... Does anyone in the chat have an answer for Xavier? Because I'm not exactly sure if you can change it, but I thought that you could, when you were pre-ordering it, select Saturday instead of Friday. Ryan says, now that the iPhones are out of the way, I'm looking forward to the Mac event. I've been waiting to see what they're going to do with the Mac Pro. I know, that's going to be a big event too. J. Rich Edit says, I was really hoping for a USB-C port because of the EU requirement maybe next year. Yeah, not a single source, not a single leak or rumor was alluding to USB-C this year, so I tried to warn people about that. That's why I kind of enjoy covering the rumors and leaks, is because they kind of manage expectations so that you aren't disappointed by the lack of USB-C and that kind of thing. But, yeah, to me, like, I was not... I know that USB-C is up for discussion, and there's talk about them doing it next year, but no one was saying it was going to happen this year. So if you were expecting it this year, then you probably got your hopes unrealistically high. Cameron Walton says, I feel like everyone's trolling me now. I have a 6S. Should I upgrade to the 14 Pro Max? Fine. I'll just say yes. I'm not even going to try anymore. I keep trying to tell people. It depends. How's your 6S doing? Can you... Yeah. Just say sure. If you can afford it, if you have the money for it, and it's not going to bankrupt you. Alex says, you can change the date after you've pre-ordered. Okay, there's your answer. Yaha says you have 2 weeks to pick it up anyway. I got you. They do hold the phones for up to 7 days, but if you miss it, then it gets sold to someone else. I see. Hopefully that answers your question, Xavier. T-Mobile botched this release. The site won't work up 2 hours, they said. My iPhone 11 standard's on life support now. I have to upgrade. Oh my god, it's on life support. Hey, Deep Purple took a lead in the poll. After 5,000 votes, people, 40% voted Deep Purple. Team Blob Super Chat, it says, I love when you repeat yourself. Should I upgrade to the 15 Pro Ultra? Best Super Chat ever spent. Anyway, how's your day? It's alright. I was not feeling well last night at all. I had some kind of fever. I'm not sure if it was... food poisoning or heat stroke, or I've been drinking a lot of water, but I guess maybe not enough because it's just super hot inside. So I was not... Last night I was terrible. My body was aching like crazy. I was super duper sore and my head really hurt. And I was nervous because I was like, oh, I got to get up early to pre-order the new iPhone, I hope. So I feel a little bit better this morning. I still don't feel like 100%, but I did feel much, much worse last night. So I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to do this live stream, but I'm very grateful I did. I'm glad I got my orders in, and I'm glad I'm feeling a bit better today. I'm not sure if I'm feeling good enough to work out. I'm trying to exercise every day, and I'm trying to decide whether or not I should exercise after this. I usually exercise about 6:30, so we've got a little bit more time left. But okay, we ran the poll for colors. Now I want to run the poll for what storage configuration people are getting. What storage option did you get? Baron, thank you for the super chat. iPhone 14 Pro 512. Verizon gave me $800 for my 10s. Apple Care? It's also dependent on you. If you're a clumsy person who is known for dropping their phone and breaking it, then yes, it's absolutely worth getting Apple Care. But if you're like me and you're just careful with your tech, I've never broken an iPhone. I've never needed to repair my iPhone. I had never once in my entire life gotten Apple Care. All right, I'm going to put the options in the chat here so we can all vote, and we'll see what people got. I'm curious. All right, there it goes. Deep Purple beat Space Black. Yeah, just by a hair. It was very, very close, but I honestly was not expecting Space Black to do that well. Do you think I might be able to snag a Pro Max in October? Well, yeah. I mean, that's where everything's delayed till October at this point. How many people got AirPods Pro 2? I bet a lot did, to be honest. There's been a lot of hype leading up to that launch. What phone is my daily driver? The 13 Pro Max, and it will stay that way. T-Mobile let me in 5 minutes early. I actually went from a 13 Pro Max to a regular size 14 Pro. Okay, I hope that works well for you, Juan. Robin Brooks says, I too am now just procrastinating until it's time to work out. I guess that makes two of us. Will Fitness Plus finally be available in Europe? Till now, only UK and few other countries. Oh, really? I didn't know it wasn't there. Why? Why not? Why can't they launch Fitness Plus? It's just videos. Why won't they launch it in Europe? Is it just because it's different languages? They're probably all English right now. That's the main reason. But you could easily dub it. What do you think of the new Space Black compared to Graphite? I think it's better, but it's not quite as black as I'd want it to be. But yes, but from the pictures I've seen, again, I haven't seen the colors in person yet. It's a waste to get AppleCare if you don't break your phone. That's true, Javi. And I've never broken my, or Javi, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I've never broken my iPhone. So to me, AppleCare would be a waste. But if you're known, some people it's pretty common for them to drop their phone and break it. So I'm glad it's there. It just depends on how you treat your phone. My pre-order went well this morning. Good, Cooper. I'm glad. Cooper Benji. Oh my God, Cooper! Nathan Gibson has been super chatting way too much. You better stop. He says I have a Nacho Bel Grande S Plus. Should I upgrade to the 14 Pro Max? Also, what are your top 3 Taco Bell items all time? I haven't gone to Taco Bell in a while. It may have been over a year. I love the. Oh, what is it called? For one, I love their desserts. Taco Bell, the Cinnabon Delights were always awesome. I love the, what is it? Chalupa? Is it what it's called? What's the taco that has like a soft shell around a hard shell? Something chalupa. Oh, the loaded potato griller burrito was my favorite. Oh, and nacho fries. I think those are my 3. Nacho fries, loaded potato griller. I don't think they have that anymore. And the Cinnabon Delights. Those are my 3 choices. Benji, hey, thank you for super chatting. Drew, should I upgrade from my iPhone 2G to an iPhone 14? I better stop complaining about those questions. It seems like everybody's just leaning into them now. Yes, Benji, you should. Even if it's financially irresponsible. You should go into debt, I think. I think you should sell your house, sell your possessions, dip into your life savings so that you can have the new iPhone. It's so worth it. Jonathan Cooper has been a member for 2 months. Appreciate that. Thank you. Gordita Crunch. Thank you, Edgar. The cheese Gordita Crunch. That's what I'm thinking of. I love the Gordita Crunch. That's a good one. Nacho fries are the best. I just wish they weren't seasonal. I wish you could get nacho fries all the time. Does the U.S. have something like Australia consumer law? You are covered for 2 years for any issues that isn't your fault. No, I don't think we have that. There is a 14-day return window, no questions asked, though. So you can return your iPhone after 14 days of use, regardless of, it doesn't matter if anything's wrong with it, or even if it's not defective, you can just be like, I decided I don't want this. And they give you a full refund. Tom Rhodes says, Drew's financial advice just now rocks, 100% behind him and the debt collectors. I think you should throw yourself in debt so you can have the dynamic island. Wonder how many people will be switching from their Android to the iPhone 14 Pro. I know, it feels like in this live stream a lot of people are coming from Android. I always purchase AppleCare, even though I am always careful. You never know when something pops up where you will need it. That's true, but if you've never used it, then you've spent hundreds of dollars on nothing. You've spent like hundreds of dollars on just promises and feeling good. But I'd rather just have a few $100s and just be careful with my tech. Why have phones gotten so huge? Even the Mini is decently big. Really? If you think the Mini is big, what phone do you think is small? No, yeah, I think the smartphone manufacturers cater to what sells the best, and they discovered that bigger phones sold really, really well. Who was that? Sean Thompson. Thank you for the super chat. He says, Affirm has crashed. Haven't been able to order yet, and shipping slipped to late October. Oh, no. I'm so sorry, Sean. I hate hearing that. That is really sad. I wish I could give up my my place in line to you. Just be like, here, take it. I'm so sorry, Sean. That's a bummer. Let's see. The 14-day window is crazy as a European, but we have a 2-year guarantee for electronics, so that's better. Yeah, and you probably have better healthcare systems than we do. Healthcare in the United States sucks. Although I got a bill recently. I don't know if you guys remember, but remember when I had the little bump? I had a big cyst on my neck here, and I kept getting comments on it. People are like, "What's that thing on your neck?" And a lot of people were convinced it was cancerous because I guess some lady on TikTok had a cyst or something, and people told her about it, and then she found out it was cancer. So now everyone sees bumps on my neck, and they're like, "Hey, Drew, you need to get that checked out." And I kept telling everyone I already had it checked out. It's benign. It's not cancer. But it didn't matter how many times I said that. People kept asking me about it. So because so many people kept asking me about it, I got it removed, and it cost like $230 basically to get that removed, which was not crucial. You know, it wasn't hurting anything. But I expected the bill to actually be higher because there was a spot on my forehead that, I see my dermatologist once a year. There was a spot on my forehead that my dermatologist thought was a little sus. He thought looked a little dangerous. And he was like, "I don't think it's cancer, but we should check it just to make sure." So that one they removed and tested, and it turns out it wasn't cancerous, but I got the bill for it, and basically it cost $200, even though I didn't ask, like, how much is this going to cost. He was just like, "Hey, we should check that." And he checks it, and, "Oh, you're fine. Here's the bill." So it costs like $200 to find out you don't have cancer. That's the United States for you. That's what it costs. I wish it didn't cost money to find out you don't have cancer. But part of that is income based. So basically the reason it's so expensive is because they know, the state knows I can afford it. If I had a much lower income, like if I was at the poverty level, you would qualify for subsidized health care that wouldn't cost anything. So that's, I guess, the bright side. But still, if you can't afford it, they charge a lot. They charge a lot for you. Anyway, Samuel says, "My order experience was terrible. Super glitchy. I ordered a Pro and a Pro Max, and they were confirmed and then disappeared from my orders. I had to call Apple, and I was disconnected." Oh, no. Yeah, I can't believe you can even try to call Apple right now. They're probably swamped. I wouldn't freak out if it disappears from your order page, because I'm sure the orders and everything, like, it's not showing up for me either, but I don't think that means the order didn't go through. As long as you got your email that says we're processing your order, I think you should be fine. Don't freak out just because it's not in the order page, because the app is acting weird and the websites are bizarre right now anyway. Somalia Chakraborty, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, says, "I subscribed during the iPhone 12 live stream, just played the video, and it felt great to talk to you and so many other people while ordering our phones. Just ordered the 14 Pro in Deep Purple." Hey, congrats! I enjoyed chatting with you guys as well. Thanks for tuning in. Do you need 256 gig for ProRAW? No, I don't think so. The only thing 256 gig allows for is 4K ProRes, but ProRAW does not need that. ProRAW is just for pictures. Eddie H, thank you for the super chat. He says, "Upgrading from the iPhone XS 256 gig to 14 Pro 512. Hope I can get used to the huge cameras on the back, picking up at 8 a.m. on the 16th in Hong Kong." Yeah, those cameras are huge on the 14 Pro. They are so gigantic. GOB says, "Does it have a charging brick in the box?" Nope. They got rid of that years ago, and this is no different. I wish Apple start doing saturated colors. I wanted a Prince Purple Rain type phone. This phone looks gray with a purple hue. I know. I wish they did more saturated colors too. I'm not really a fan of most of the colors. Well, what's the whole purpose of insurance? You may never use it, but it's there. It's required here. You don't have to get Apple Care with your phone, but you get a fine in the United States if you don't have health care, or at least in California. Maybe it's different in other states, but basically, if you choose not to have health care, they will tax you something like $150 a month. You have to pay a fee to not have health care, which some people don't like. Some people say it's a good idea to have universal, like an agreed upon standard that helps cover the price of health coverage for people who don't have it. You know, it's not like you go to the hospital and they deny you because you don't have health insurance. Like, the emergency room will take anyone. They'll try to bill you afterwards, but they help and work on, homeless people that have no money at all. So someone's got to pay for that. Synergy Media, thank you for the super chat. Do you rock your phone naked or do you rock a case? What case brands do you like, recommend? I don't like cases. I have yet to find one I really appreciate, which is heartbreaking to hear for a lot of brands that watch my, well, they usually don't watch my videos, but they email me all the time. I must get offers of review this case, review this case. I get offered cases like every other day for the iPhone 14. And I'm like, you don't watch my videos, do you? Apple cases wear out incredibly fast. I used to buy them, but I noticed just how quickly they start falling apart and chipping, and the silicone cases are terrible. The leather cases also scratch and show scuffs and stuff really quickly. So I don't know. I don't have a good case recommendation. I haven't bought a case in years. I'm just careful with my phone, and I use it naked. I like it this way. I think it looks cool, and it feels nice in the hand. Cameron Walton, thank you for the super chat. When do you think iPhone will go portless? Maybe never. But I think that the SIM card tray is going to be hard enough for people to get used to. And at this point, Apple is trying to come up with new reasons to get the new iPhone, and they're kind of having a hard time finding meaningful upgrades. And at this point, I think going portless would be a major downgrade and would prevent a lot of people from wanting to buy the new iPhone. So if there's any reason to not buy the new iPhone, Apple might be a bit skeptical. So Jason says, hopefully iPhones will go portless before adopting USB-C. What are you talking about? I think you want to switch those words around, right? They should have USB-C. If you're going to have a port, it should be the best port. And Type-C is the best port by far. You can do so much more with the iPhone if it has Type-C. Like, you can upsell people and advertise the fact, hey, this has the better port. This has faster charging. This has faster data transfer speeds. Like, there's so many benefits to having Type-C. What is Apple going to say when it's portless? Oh, I guess you have to use MagSafe now. Cool. Battery's a little better. Ryan says, waiting for 8K video recording because I, an everyday consumer, uses video recording on a daily basis and will see the difference. I think Ryan is joking. I hope he's joking, at least. Joshua Davies, thank you for the super chat. Bro, not a fan of the colors this year. Shake my head. I know. I wasn't a big fan either. But I didn't really like last year's colors. They've still yet to make really colors I'm that passionate about. Although I think they kind of fixed silver. I saw the 13 Pro silver and it was too faded. This year's silver looks to pop a lot more. No, I'm not upgrading, but I did pre-order. Richard says, not a fan of Deep Purple, will be getting Space Black. Yeah, it seems like that's the very popular option. Speaking of most popular options, we have 1,400 votes on the poll so far, and 256 gig is actually in the lead. So I think Apple's realized that maybe restricting 4K at ProRes to 256 gig makes people feel like, oh, I need to have the iPhone with all of the features. I don't want to be software locked out of features. So that seems to be pretty popular. 36% got 128 gig though, and of course only 11% got 1 terabyte. I'm still surprised there's people buying the 1 terabyte iPhone. What is my home screen setup on the 13 Pro Max? Asks Andy Blaha. Thank you for the super chat. It's pretty basic. Not much. It's got my YouTube, my texting. Degoo is a cloud storage app that's free. And it gives you free data, free cloud storage every time you open the app. So I just put it on my home page because I make sure to open it every day. And then you get I think it's 100 megabytes of extra cloud storage a day. So 700 megabytes a week, which is several gigs worth of data per month, and doesn't cost me anything. Why wouldn't you upgrade, Drew? Because nothing's wrong. Why would I upgrade? Nothing's wrong with my phone. Tesla's in Texas. Drew, I sold my house because of you. I'm living on the streets. Will it be worth it when I get my 14 Pro Max? Absolutely. Who needs a house? You have Dynamic Island. That's so much better. Bob O'Mara, thank you for the super chat. I noticed my iPhone 14 Pro Max order disappeared from my order page as well. Do have an email confirmation, so thanks for making me feel better. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about what's in your order page right now. I think the app is and the website are all wigging out. As long as you got the email, I think you're probably good. I don't think you have anything to worry about. Luke super chatted but didn't say anything, but thank you, Luke. When AirPods Pro 2 work with watch charger, that's why I think they go portless. Well, they didn't. They could have gone portless on AirPods Pro 2, but they chose not to. I think the EU and India and Brazil all talking about enforcing USB-C as a standard will encourage them to do so. I think they might get in too much legal trouble if they try to go portless. That doesn't fix the problem. For one, it's very hypocritical. If Apple's used the e-waste argument, and they're like, we're trying to reduce e-waste, then getting rid of the port and going portless is like the worst thing you could do for the environment. It would instantly make all of our Lightning accessories wasteful and useless. Whereas you can easily switch every Lightning cable to a USB-C cable. You cannot switch every Lightning cable to MagSafe. Doesn't have the wattage for it. T-Mobile still hasn't done a price drop for the 13 Pro phones. It's still the same price as the 14 Pro. That's funny. I guess the 13 Pros are still really, really good options, though. I mean, you got a great camera, you got 120 hertz, big display, great battery life. Honestly, if you can find these at a discounted price, I think we'll do a video on that later. I think that's the video coming today, although the channel members already knew that. What's the next result in the poll? For those who don't know, if I have a bunch of video ideas and I'm not sure what to make next, then I put a poll for the channel members to vote on. And what's next? So we did the Apple Watch Ultra one. I'm leaking my own polls. The Apple Watch Ultra won the poll at 50%. Second place is iPhone 14 Plus versus 13 Pro Max. So I think if I have time, if I am still feeling okay today, and my fever doesn't get worse, then I'll probably do that video. Andy Blaha says he's been a member for 29 days. Oh, thanks. Well, you don't need to super chat then. Don't worry about it. Nicholas says, ordered my 14 Pro 256 gig to replace my 10S, but the price hurt here in Belgium. 14.59 euros. App Smooth 256 gig is for future proof. I plan on holding it for 4 years. Okay, I hope so. Gary Explains says the A16 is basically the A15. Probably in terms of raw performance, but I think people are missing the point of the A16 chip. The point was not to make it faster, it was to make it more efficient and not overheat as much, which is what they said they were going for, which ultimately I think is the wise move. No one is maxing out the performance of their A15 chips, so why would Apple make the performance that much faster? At this point, what matters a lot more is the efficiency and the power consumption, and it sounds like that's what the priority was for the A16. So raw photos take up a lot of space, might go 512 next upgrade. They do, but all those pictures you're taking are going to be compressed on social media anyway. Paulo, thank you for the super chat. I successfully placed order for pickup, but no charge. Yeah, you don't get charged when you pre-order. You typically only get charged when the phone ships or like the day before. So that's normal. The fact that my 14 Pro Max and AirPods Pro 2 just disappeared from my order page is normal. I don't know if normal is the right word, but I'm just saying it doesn't mean that it didn't go through. Don't order it again. Just because it's not in your order page. It's not in my order page either, but I think it's just because the app is overwhelmed with, and their servers are freaking out and everything right now. I was combing over tech specs and I saw that Apple actually shrunk the aperture from 1.5 on the 13 Pro Max to 1.78 on the 14 Pro Max. Any idea why? No, but they said it still should be better in low light, so I'm guessing it's still an improvement. It's just the aperture is a little bit worse in regards to the physical size, but I'd be very surprised if it was genuinely worse performing. We'll see when the videos come out. Apparently, to that YouTuber POV, I think they're going to call it A15.5 Bionic. I think that Apple prioritized what actually matters with the A16 chip. How many people are running Geekbench test? How many people are maxing out the A15 chip? I don't think that many. What's more important is battery life and efficiency and the phone not overheating. That impacts everybody. So that's what the focus was, and I think that will be appreciated by the everyday consumer. If the YouTubers don't like it, oh well, but I'm not going to say Apple slacked off or did the wrong thing. Jonathan Cooper didn't say anything, but I appreciate the super chat. And Rashed Alamadi says, which color did I get? I got the silver. I knew a lot of people were getting space black, so I wanted to be a little bit different. And deep purple didn't look too good to me. They're going to call the A16 as A15.5 Bionic. Well, it should make you feel a little bit better about the regular iPhone 14s still using the A15 chip, right? Why didn't they get the A16 chip? A16 chip's not that different. Oh, okay. Let's see. $1 trillion company, and they take down the site for products refresh. They need to pay their devs. They do. Apple spends a bunch of money on this, but sometimes it's very hard to prepare for because you don't know exactly how many people are going to come in and order. And They've prepared for it year after year, and they try their best to beef up their servers. It's not in their best interest. Like, they don't want the sites to crash. They don't want the app to get shut down. It's in Apple's best interest for them to have the money coming in and as many people having successful pre-orders as possible. There's no point to them not fixing that. So the fact that it still breaks is just evident that sometimes they get way more orders than they were anticipating still. T-Mobile wanted $500 for me to switch carriers, so I'm deciding to switch to Verizon. They upped their trade-in value to $1,000 for my 12 Pro Max. Wow, $1,000, my goodness. But then the problem is you're on Verizon. They're going to get their money out of you one way or another. Like, I know that they try to incentive. The game with Verizon and AT&T is they always offer very competitive trade-in and very competitive upgrades. Ooh, you can get this really cheap, or you can get this really cheap. But then they charge you through the roof for the monthly service, and it costs way more per month than other carriers. And they get money out of you. They're still winning in the end. That's why they're so big. That's why those companies have so many brick and mortar locations, and they spend millions and millions of dollars on advertising, is because they get a lot of money out of you. Ryan West, is it even possible to max out the chip given the software limitations? Well, I'm saying max it out relative to what the software allows it to do. And the truth is, no. Most people on the A15 chip are using it for texting and taking basic pictures and FaceTime calls and stuff. So there's a plenty of overhead in there with the amount of games you can run on it that people don't even run on it. It's not worth it. Fully Lisa, thank you for super chatting. That's very kind of you, although I don't see, there's no message, but thanks anyway. T-Mobile app and website having severe issues an hour later still. Oh my God, that's crazy. Joshua Davies says, hey Drew, selling my 12 Pro Max. Want to buy? No, thank you. That phone does not have 120 hertz, but thanks for asking. DB1344 says, would 128 gig be enough if you've got 2 terabytes of iCloud data? Always depends on the person. I don't know how many pictures and videos you take, but yeah, I think 128 gig would be enough. But if you're doing a bunch of local storage, then you're going to fill up that 2 terabytes eventually anyway. Have you heard of Mint Mobile? No, I haven't. But thanks for mentioning it, Jonathan Anderson. If Apple didn't replace the low battery pop-up with the new dynamic island feature 14 Pros, some tech nerds are going to call it's stupid. The low battery pop-up. That's true. It is kind of stupid. I still hate the low battery pop-up. Do you recommend getting Apple Care for AirPods Pro 2? If you think you'll drop it or do something or break it, but I don't. I've never broken a pair of AirPods, so I wouldn't get it. I don't think it should be much of an issue that the A15 is still in the 14 Plus. It's the better Pro variant. A14 is still a beast too. Yeah, it's like there is a law of diminishing returns in terms of chip design. At a certain point, you're not taking advantage of the CPU performance or the GPU performance. So at that point, why make it that much faster when the real problem is running the chip more efficiently and running it with better thermals? I'm still on T-Mobile Home Internet. Yes, I will tell you, Jose. If I change internet providers, you're going to know about it. I'm not going to secretly change. Sahil James has ordered 14 Pro Max 128 gig. Purple deliveries 29th of September. Okay, well, at least it's this month. I want straight talk. Let's see. Verizon offered me $800 for my 12 Pro to upgrade to the 13 Pro. The catch was you're locked into a 36-month contract if you take the $800 trade-in. If you just want to trade in and pay in full, it's less money. Yeah, exactly. Tesla's in Texas. Verizon screwed me over and let a hacker on my SIM card, so I'm excited about eSIM. Lost thousands of dollars because they got into my crypto. Oh, really? Oh, that's terrible. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry to hear that, man. Man, that sucks. Verizon does suck royally, don't they? I hated Verizon when I had them. I'm so glad I'm not on Verizon anymore. Samantha Griffin, thank you for the super chat. Didn't say anything, but I appreciate it. Scooter says it would be great if they could do something with software for the notch like the dynamic island. They could, but what would be the incentive to try to get people to not upgrade their iPhone? Brian Miller says that trade-in credit isn't given automatically when you upgrade. It's divided down into a 36-month installment, so you don't actually get the full discount if you don't keep it for that full 36 months. That's the thing. Carriers always have this little fine print and stuff. It would be great if they could do something with software. Oh, sorry, I read that. Yeah. Andrew Lee says, I hate when T-Mobile has deals that make you add a line. I do too. I hate how much bundling they require. And it's like, here's the price if it's just one of you. Here's the price if it's all of you. I love the simplicity of Mint Mobile. Even if it's one line, here's the price, and the price is super low. Especially if you're not a heavy data user and you're comfortable with just 4 gigs a month, which a lot of my family and friends are. They mostly use Wi-Fi, and then when they're on cell data, they don't use too much. So they're paying $15 a month or less because the referral credits you get on Mint Mobile are really generous. So they're paying like less than $10 a month basically for cell phone service, and the coverage works pretty great. Luke super chatted, why won't 14 Pro Max replace 13 Pro Max as your daily driver? Why should it? What's wrong with this phone? It's 120 hertz, battery life is great, camera's great. Why? Like, you got to convince me why the 14 Pro Max is worth it. That's what you guys keep getting backwards. The 14 Pro is good. Why shouldn't I get it? It's like, because the question is, should you get rid of your old phone and replace it with a new one? And that answer is entirely dependent on the current state and capability of your old phone. And this phone is still perfectly adequate and works great. So I see no reason to get rid of it. Mint has two-factor authentication now to protect against SIM swapping. That's good. That's good. I've never had any hacks on my account, which is at least a benefit. Out of iPhone 14 topic, do you really think that the higher-end MacBook Pro are going to be unveiled in October? I still think it's too soon, but Mark Gurman says it's happening, and he's been very spot on lately. Zach says, I'm very happy about the eSIM push. T-Mobile has always been great at its implementation, even if others didn't do it well. I think it'll be fine for most people, but I see it being really annoying and frustrating for people that go like overseas and are traveling. That, you know, carriers over there a lot of them don't support eSIM. What do you think about 11 to 14 Pro Max? It's fine if you can afford it. If I have the 13 Pro Max, I would not upgrade. There you go. See, I'm just taking Agi Pride for Life's advice. We all use 5 to 25 gigs per line per month and chew through 800 gigs of home Wi-Fi. Well, home Wi-Fi is a different discussion. I'm just saying, if you use a lot of data on cellular, okay, just understand you're paying for it. A lot of people on Verizon and AT&T are paying, you know, 70, 80, $100 a month, whereas these people on Mint Mobile that can live with the unlimited plan, they're using a similar amount of data. Mint Mobile technically gives you, I think, 35 gigs high-speed data on the unlimited plan, and then it slows down after 35, but it's $30 a month instead of, you know, 60, 80, whatever. And you can do it with just one line. You don't have to get like 5 people all on the same plan. Upgrade justification. Without car crash detection and Apple Watch, we will all die. This is what I took from the keynote. I drive a Tesla, so it's the safest car on the road. We have to go to court with Verizon, won't admit they did something wrong. Wow, you're actually going to court with them. Good for you, man. Stand up for what's right. That's awesome. It's so sad that the 14 Pro is $300 more expensive in Germany. It is sad, but I think people are blaming Apple for a currency problem. The reason people are doing this is because inflation in currencies overseas are taking massive hits. So the conversion rate between the US dollar and the currencies overseas is getting worse and worse. So that, of course, means that the new iPhones are costing a lot more than they used to. But I don't think that's Apple. It's not just Apple being greedy. It's the exchange rate. At least Apple finally stopped selling the iPhone 11 and Apple Watch 3. Yeah, that means there's no more 4G iPhones in the lineup. All the iPhones now that they're selling are 5G, which I believe was the plan from the beginning. Qualcomm wanted Apple to have a full 5G lineup by the end of this year. Oh my God. Nathan Gibson, stop! Why do you keep super chatting that much? Thank you, though. That's awfully generous of you. Wildly off topic, I saved to where I could buy the Cybertruck cash, but with the 4680 issues, I'm thinking 2 years before it releases. With the way Tesla holds value, could I buy an S Plaid and basically switch on release? Yeah, probably. I mean, the Plaid Model S is not really anything like the Cybertruck. It's not a pickup or anything. But yeah, a lot of cars are holding their value pretty well. I'm thinking 2 years before it releases. Yeah, I definitely think you'd probably be able to trade in your Plaid and have it cover the price of the Cybertruck, or at least sell it. And the only difference is that it's just not a pickup truck. You're trying to buy a sedan. Do you just want a Tesla for the sake of a Tesla, or do you want a pickup truck? In which case, honestly, what I've seen a lot of people do Sorry, we're talking about EVs now, but Nathan super chatted more than everybody here, so I feel like I have to answer the question. A lot of people have been doing this. They're buying Rivians because a Rivian is still a really great pickup truck, very fast, great off-roading capability, still has a bed, and still fairly connected as a car. The touch displays and everything. The Rivian feels like what Tesla would have made if they made a regular pickup truck. If they didn't make a crazy, bizarre-looking Cybertruck, they probably would have made something very much like a Rivian. People are buying those, and then because the resale value is so high, most people can flip them. You pay 80, 90 grand for a Rivian, and then you can resell it for like 140 grand. But I expect that won't always be the case as production ramps up. But when the Cybertruck comes out, you can sell your Rivian and get all of your money back or more of your money back than you paid. That way you have a truck in the meantime. But that's just, I guess some people don't want a Rivian. But yeah, you could do that. There's nothing I see. There's no issue I see with buying the S Plaid as a stopgap financially. It's just not a truck. My Magenta plan with T-Mobile costs $17.50 with my work discount. Well, yeah, if you get it through a work discount. But hey, that's still not as much as Mint, and Mint doesn't require a work discount. Talk about Apple satellite versus T-Mobile and SpaceX. So basically, the iPhone 14 is using a satellite constellation called Globalstar, and that's active now. It's only going to be used for emergencies, so you're not going to get mobile data. I don't even think you can do a phone call. But there's a little UI element that's to help you like track with the satellite, so you have to kind of hold your iPhone a specific way. Whereas Starlink, I don't think you're really going to have to hold your phone a specific way. The Starlink one, they're saying it would, it wouldn't work if you're inside a building or inside a car. And I think the Starlink one won't require you to hold it and track with it like the Globalstar one does. And it also won't require you to have an iPhone 14 because Starlink is going to be using existing wavelengths that you don't need a special iPhone 14 modem for. You can just get by with normal cell phone antennas. That's just not ready yet. So the Starlink T-Mobile thing will work with iPhone 13s and 12s, but it's probably not going to start until next year. Whereas the satellite emergency for iPhone 14 is available this November, I think they said. And it should work without any carrier. Whereas the T-Mobile Starlink thing obviously requires T-Mobile. Although they said they would bring it to other carriers in the future. We just don't know when. Thank you again, Nathan, for the super chat. He says, I just wanted a Tesla with as much range as possible because I drive cross-country for work. Is the Model S too expensive to flip? And should I get a Model 3 to flip? I don't think it's too expensive to flip. I just think if you're going for the most amount of range, you shouldn't get the Plaid. The Plaid takes a hit in range for the sake of the tri-motor powertrain. Also, I think you might be better off getting used to having 300 miles of range because I don't think the Cybertruck is going to have 500 miles of range. Personally, I know a lot of people doubt me on this, but I've been right before with my Tesla predictions. I think for the sake of production ramping, the Cybertruck is going to be a 300-mile range, not 500. So if you get used to having a car with a 400-mile range, you're probably going to be bummed that the Cybertruck isn't as good as you were hoping. Here in the Philippines, iPhone 14 series will be released around late October to early November. Wow, I'm sorry, Richard. I'm sorry you have to wait so long. Bird203 says, I would get the 14 Pro Max's upgrade if I travel more because of the satellite services and more cell bands as well. If we don't get different service types like satellite SOS, like now worth it. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. You still have to do eSIM for everything, which will probably be a frustration when traveling unless carriers can get on board with it. Do you think the satellite messaging will come in the form of iMessage? No. It's going to be its own separate thing. Apple themselves someone mentioned that satellite texting is going to take like 15 seconds to send a text. And it's not going to be long text. You can't send like a giant paragraph even. It's going to be very small amounts of data. Eamon Singh, thank you for the super chat. He says, in Australia, iPhone 14 Pro Max 256 gig going to cost $2,000 and MacBook M2 Air costs only $1,649. What the F is wrong with my country? I don't know, man. There's import fees, there's import tariffs and stuff like that, and there's inflation and conversion rate differences. So yeah, I wish I had an answer for you, but I really genuinely don't know. But hey, you could save some money if you guys just don't super chat. You don't need to donate. You've all been far too generous today. Hopefully the satellite service becomes free before someone dies because they don't pay for the service. I think they could at least do pay after the fact. Like, okay, it's free for 2 years, but don't like just turn off the feature if someone's in an emergency. Don't be like, sorry, I guess you can't call for help. It's like, okay, if it has to cost money, then let anyone use it at any time, and then you just bill them after the fact. But honestly, like, how much data does that service use? Why can't they just offer it free for life? I don't know. Maybe that's too expensive, or maybe they think it would be abused. Like, if they charge you money for emergency SOS, maybe that will discourage people from using it if they don't need it. Like, if you're just trying to text friends for fun, you're not in an emergency, and you just want to tell people, you know, I'm not in trouble or whatever. But yeah, just bill them after the fact. Don't just turn off the feature completely. I don't know how it works. I guess we'll find out in 2 years. Makata Pro says he'll get his pre-order on September 16th. Lucky, I guess. Yeah, that is lucky. Congratulations. Stevens288, thank you for the super chat. Oh my god, $19.99. Holy crap. He says, made 2 orders, 1 delivery, 1 pickup. Which one should I cancel? I know for delivery you need a signature, and I probably won't be around. Also, can I go earlier than my pickup time to get my phone? My pickup time is 5 p.m. In my experience, you usually can. If you go to the Apple Store before your pickup window, they'll be like, hey, you're not scheduled to pick this up till later. And you'll be like, sorry, I'm busy later. Can I get it now? They'll usually say yes, at least for me. I've never heard. Maybe there's instances where they turn you away, but typically the best motivation for them is just to get you out of there. Get you your phone and get away, because iPhone launch day is always crazy busy. It's not okay to have the safety feature behind a paywall. It's kind of a tough debate, because on one hand, like, yeah, I get it. You don't want to charge people to use a paywall. But on the other hand, safety features do cost money. Like, you could say that the Apple Watch SE is paywalling car crash detection. They're charging you extra, and they're trying to upsell you on the fact that one of these things has an ECG, one of them doesn't. So if you care about your health, if you care about your kids, you better buy them this thing. So yeah, if they didn't paywall it, is there a chance that a bunch of people would abuse the feature, right? If it's free, then they'll just start texting their friends for fun, and then you're clogging up bandwidth on the satellite network that could be used for actual emergencies. So maybe paywalling it is a good way to make sure the only people using it are those who absolutely need it. Scooter says it's like crash detection. Glad it's there, but no one wants to get in a car accident, right? Elizabeth says the satellite free for 2 years. How does that work? Is it date purchase for free from November for 2 years? I think so. I think it's, if you get the iPhone 14 before November, it's 2 years from November, and then from then on out, it's 2 years from when you took delivery of the phone. All right, Samuel's going back to sleep. Thanks for tuning in. I probably should too. Ambulances do cost money. It's just who should pay for them, the government or the patient? Probably the government. But built-in SOS feature on cars is also paywalled. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is a thing. Put a poll on the satellite price after 2 years. I could, but I think I'm about ready to sign off. Sorry, Cedric Super Chat. Pretty sure they won't allow you to text a specific person, and they'll have a call center for handling the information for emergency people. From what I see, there's not a call center, at least. The Starlink T-Mobile thing said that they can handle phone calls, but Apple did not show anybody talking on the phone, from what I can tell. It was just texting. David says they did have a call center. Maybe I missed it then. It's fine to paywall safety features. The providers are not a charity. I guess it's just like, I understand why they should charge it after the fact. Yeah, like they give you a bill, kind of like an ambulance, but they don't charge you before you get in the ambulance. That would be bad. Since 911 is required to be a toll-free by law, the cell carrier plan charges count as a toll. Then I could see the law trying to make it illegal to charge anyone. That's possible. It's especially because they post people to transcribe manually from written text to speech for EMS that don't work with emergency text services. Oh, I see. Mivik says, I think the paywall makes sense because they said they have a team dedicated to transcribing and talking to emergency services on your behalf. Those call center operatives must be paid somehow. Yeah, I don't think people are doubting those call center people should be paid. It's just should the consumer have to pay for it? There is text-to-speech relay to the emergency services. Okay. So it's still sending text. It's just transcribing that text. I gotcha. If they do charge, it will be pay-per-use, and it will probably be cheap. Let's hope so. Let's hope it's cheap. But all right, this has been a really fun stream. I'm glad I got my orders in, and I hope you guys did too. 256 gigs seem to have won the poll. Actually, 512 and 1 terabyte are tied at 12%. But I'm going to go see how I'm feeling and see if I can get some exercise in today. And if not, I hope you guys sleep well as you go back to bed. And more videos to come soon. Channel members will get to watch me film and edit the next tech video. And also, we should probably record the podcast today. So, appreciate you all for tuning in. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Thank you so much for all of your incredibly generous super chats today. Seriously, like, you guys have been way, way, way too generous. Like, calm down, please. This is too much. I'm very flattered. And I hope you have an excellent rest of your day, all. Take care. Bye-bye.